and thanks for stopping by today. In today's Monday Graph Paper session, let's take a look at a catchy little rock radio number called Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses. So let's get started, shall we? In order to avoid any YouTube copyright infringement issues, we're going to avoid playing any of the actual song during this video, so it'll be helpful for you to be pretty familiar with the tune, have your guitar handy, whatever. And if you clicked on this video, you probably know the tune by now. So, okay, let's graph out all the notes of this song to see if any patterns or scales emerge. And like you probably already know, we've got our guitar scale graphed out here. We'll be, it's as usual, low strings to high strings. We're all marked out here on our string names and our note names across the E string there just for reference, and the dots just for reference as well. So getting started here, the best thing to do is to start on the ground floor and look for clues. And at the ground floor we have the root movement of our chords. So what I'm going to draw out here is first basically the pattern of chords goes over an F sharp, G sharp, a C sharp, and a B. So let's draw that out really quick here. So we're exploring the easy chords here, the power chords, the root fifth root chords that are almost not even chords. Okay, so finally getting to the point here, we're going to box in the F sharp, the G sharp, the C sharp, and the B note right here. Okay, so these four notes that we boxed in here are a good start. If we have 7 notes that we need and we subtract 4, we only need 3 more notes to get to find out our major scale that the song is based off of. 1 more note and we will reveal a pentatonic scale. So let's take a second to mark out these notes that we're using here. There's the F sharp and the G. We're going to leave a little mark there for this line here is meant to look like a piano keyboard. It's the notes, and it's grayed out like the black keys on a piano. The sharps and flats are, and the whole notes are left normal. So there you go. And what do we have here? We have the F sharp, G sharp, the B note, and the C sharp. So based on these 4 notes, let's get our power chord sequence built and see if it leads to another note, a 5th note, that'll give us our pentatonic scale, or reveal to us our pentatonic scale. And let's hear it. So there's our new note right there. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a whole step above the C sharp note, which is the D sharp note. So look at that. We've got our 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 of a pentatonic pattern. Okay, neat. So there's our pentatonic scale. Let's map that out on our whole fretboard here to get the playable group of notes here to know where our solo is probably, or the notes of our solo are most likely going to be found. And we know if we've got this group over here, that means we've got these 2 notes over here. Hey dude, just draw the scale out faster. Come on, man. Get it spelled out for people. Go. Warp drive activated. Okay, so mostly using this shape right here, I'm going to, and actually that shape and this series of notes right up through here, perhaps this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I'm going to attempt to play the very first solo here using just that block shape right there. Here it goes. Let's give it a listen. A little bit of the chords first. Alright, there was the first solo in its entirety. Let's dive deep right into it. What we won't dive deep into are the exact use of which tones he chose to use over which chords we're playing at the time. That'll really spell out some things about why these notes sound so great in this solo. However, you can find that on your own once you start toying with the scale that you find the solo in. Let's just see what the graph paper can do today to find out what key we're in. So in this, I've shaded in another note here, you'll see, and here's why. In the very first part of our solo, something was revealed. I'm going to play these notes here, starting here. I'm going to play this. Sorry. Damn. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, nothing was revealed there. We got... So did you hear that? We've got this one happening right here, and then in the very next lick from there, we got this really sweet part. So he's milking this half step in his scale for everything it's got, and throughout the rest of the solo, he sticks with the notes of the pentatonic scale. So nothing else is revealed other than we have 6 notes getting into our scale pattern, but it's not revealed yet. Well, consider this. Here's some method to the madness here in music in general. Think about this. You're the guitar player. You have to make a solo here. You've got a second solo in the song coming up that's going to be the final climactic solo, the big wallop of the song. This one is the first solo, the more gentle solo, kind of like in Comfortably Numb, how there's 2 solos, and the first one is a little chill, and the second one is the really impactful solo. Well, same thing here. And so notice what he's doing. He's not revealing the entirety of the scale he's on yet. He's just using one note to sweeten up, to really start adding in the sweetness of revealing the major scale, so it leaves you ready for the next solo. It leaves your ear wanting more. You've got the thrill of hearing that next note in there. So there's all great reason to use that note, but only that one note in this solo, and not add in the final note until the final solo. So, and also milk that note for everything it's got on sweet little licks like this. I just love that lick. Oh man, I just want to rip the rest of that solo out, but you don't want to hear me do all that. You want to continue on here, so let's move on to the very final solo, because that's all we can milk out of the first solo here. There's just basically, like I said, only that note used. We have to wait till the second solo to get to this final note and reveal to ourselves, is it this note here, which would complete our square. As we know, a major scale always has a square of 4 notes. That's the mechanics of the guitar fretboard. You can see in my other videos. This square doesn't always have to be here. It can be here, but as you see, we've got one of these notes. A note on this side is used, so that eliminates the square being on this side. It's going to be either this note, meaning this is that split scale that you may recognize as something your guitar teacher may have taught you called the Aeolian pattern. Okay, nothing to do with playing in the Aeolian mode, something to do with it, but it's just a pattern as expressed here in this moment. So maybe that and maybe this note. Let's find out. Let's do a little more digging here. In the second solo, we've got it starting out like this over these chords. Alright, so we don't need to play the whole thing through right now. I just get carried away playing that great little solo. Thanks, Slash, right? So what we notice here is that nearly immediately the second note is revealed to you. The note that reveals which scale we're in, and it begins right there. This note is this note in the scale, but then he goes to bending this note, which I bend from right here. So we basically have this note, which is indeed this note, which pretty much means it sounds all pretty major to me. And what do you know, when you play in this scale, when you take a pentatonic and you make these two the gut notes, you know, there's your pentatonic shell that would not have these notes involved, and you add these two notes in for a 7-note scale, which looks like the Aeolian scale, but if this is your root note, which we are pretty sure it is, that's the first chord, the power chord starts on this note and is eventually going back to this note. So we're going to call it in this note, that's major. That's a major scale right there. And I'm declaring that this song is built on F sharp major scale. All right, and that's all it took to find it out. And now you have the rest of the
notes that you can fill in here on your diagram and play around. Let's get that all filled in. If this was here and this was here, we know we have this one here, and we know we have this one here, and actually this one here. And if we have a square there, that means we have a square there, and we have a square there for our Dorian shape.
So look how fast when I am in the middle of a song and I determine where my scale is, I'm on fire, man. I'm all over the board because these squares pop right into my head so fast. I no longer have to worry about where my notes in my major scale are. I don't have any shady areas where I don't know. I just know this little box shape, and then it's kind of gray area over here. Nope. I can jump around the whole scale with this method that I am showing to you. So, that being said, we'll have half of a square up here, and that means our, what I'm going to call the middle set. Instead of working on your outside two strings, like this one is the outside two, the middle two, the outside two. This one
splits a square on the E string, splits a square on the E string, and has two strings on the middle two groups of leftover strings, if that just made any damn sense to you. And it goes like this, and this one uses the, because this one resides on the G to B string, and we all know that that has a split. Well, we know that this box must, in theory, do that. So, that being said, I'm gonna think that that one here.
Righto. So there you have it. Those are all your accessory notes there that turn a pentatonic shape into a major scale shape, so you can see how that happens once again, how it's a reliable way to use music theory to explore any song you want, your rock songs, and get a kind of feel for, it makes music theory interesting because you're using your favorite songs. You're using songs that you like. If you found this video, you probably like Knocking on Heaven's Door. And so, there you have it. I think I'll riff out the rest of the second solo here, and we'll move on with our day. I appreciate that you watched this video this far. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm going to wrap up the video here. It's been hours editing this freaking thing to just make it what it is, right, that you're seeing right now. I really appreciate that you followed along this far if you did. And while I've got your last bit of attention here, if you could support my Patreon page, that would be great because I can make more of these videos more timely and have time to edit them and the energy to get put into them if you can make it all happen by supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps. Any one of your contributions, every little bit helps. So go check it out, see what it is. Hit the donate button if I put one in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Here is the final solo. There's the note again. There it is. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.